Happy Valentine's month, everybody. I'm the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to share with you some of my favorite Valentine's Day episodes from TV shows or even movies. Not everything is all lovey-dovey. Sometimes Valentine's Days deal with heartache and everything. So, some episodes will be romantic and lovey-dovey, while others will be very sad and heart-wrenching and stuff. But love is love. It doesn't always come with smiles and giggles and glee. So I'm here today to talk to you about where on earth is Carmen Sandiego the last season. I'm not sure the last season, season 4 or season 5, but the last season, episode Cupid Sandiego. So this is the third to last episode in the series. And where on earth is Carmen Sandiego is an extremely good cartoon, very classic. I have to talk about it one day. I have to talk about it one day. But I've been putting it off and stuff. And so I grew up with this on the Fox Kids time, and it was a very educational, action-packed series that was just as cool as the PBS game shows. And so in this episode, we get introduced to a character named Joshua. He is a new techno whiz at Acme Detective Agency. And so just like with every format, you have Carmen who wants to steal something. And so she wants the chase. She wants you to follow her and try to capture her. But she wants to get away with what she does and never be captured. And she's never been caught. And so the new techno whiz dude, he has created something that a machine that when you put a person's DNA in it, it can literally track you all around the world. Now, of course, this show is fictional and this and that, with a lot of cool technology. The machine is called Sandbug, which is just a weird name. But Carmen fears this device because she doesn't want to be found that easily. She wants to chase. She wants people to use their brain to find her. See, every time she steals something, she will leave a clue behind. A clue is very, very vague that she leaves. And you have to use your mind and think about everything that came before that day. Mainly in museums and stuff. Things that are like art type stuff, paintings, statues, literature, back in the Renaissance days in other countries. You really have to use your brain because she is a highly intelligent woman. And so she wants this device. So she has her henchmen try to steal it, but they are unable to. Now, Joshua has a huge crush on Ivy. Ivy is the sister of Zach, and they are two detectives that are always trying to capture Carmen. And I remember I used to have a crush on her too growing up. She's tall, she has red hair, she's athletic, she's really smart, and people have crushes on cartoon shows all the time when they were growing up, so whatever. And so Zach, her brother, wants to give him some pointers into asking her out because Joshua is very shy, very nervous. Hey, we've all been there, walking around the store, wanting to ask somebody out, but too scared and it looks like you're stalking that person. We've all been there. Because people have nerves and they're scared and they don't like rejection and stuff. And people are very picky and judgmental, and you don't never know what a person might like. And so that is how he is. So, I think she is able to steal the device or something like that, but she don't know how to work it. So she overhears what Joshua said about liking Ivory. So she sets things in motion. And so basically she needs to get him out the way so she can steal his papers and stuff like that because his device is voice activated. So she sends them on a huge wild goose chase. And before she leaves, she writes something on a cork on a bottle and throws it to the at me detectives and stuff. And so, like, first I want to point out, what the world is Ivory wearing, man? Like, seriously, you don't wear that to the beach. She just looks like, I don't know, man, like that. You don't wear that to the beach. And so, like, the cork, it has a phrase on it, so they have to use their minds. And so they talk to the chief, who's a hologram. And the cork is a phrase by that of what was it? It's somebody, Jonathan Swift, I believe. And so I think he was like an author or a poet or something like that. And so it leads him to a place called Cork, Ireland, and everything. And so they go there. And they're able to get there really fast because they have like this type of transporter portal device. But they also, this towards the end of the season, they have like this car they drive around in now. Carmen gets around because every vehicle she has a jetpack to it, so, or a rocket or whatever. So anyway, what's so special about Cork, Ireland? I can't say that. The barley stone. The barley stone is something that tons of people go and they get underneath it and they kiss it. And it's supposed to give a person the gift of the gap. What that means, it means a person who's very talkative, very confident. They can just like talk for days and stuff. And so while there, they realize, hey, there's a woman with a red wig on. She's trying to steal it. It's Carmen. She ends up stealing it. So they chase after her and everything. And while chasing after her, they almost get themselves killed like they always almost do. So in a way, they're able to foil her and get the stone back. And so when they put in the stone back, Joshua thinks that, hey, if I kiss this thing, maybe, just maybe, I can talk to Ivy and everything. So he tries that. She's not paying attention and he's just really striking out. So Ivory, I think she overhears one of the henchmen say something. And at first she thinks it's a completely different location until they start doing some sleuthing and they realize something. No, it has to do with William Shakespeare and his very famous story of Romeo and Juliet, the balcony scene. So Carmen's gonna look to steal a balcony now, I think in Great Britain. So they see Five on over there, and sure enough, she's trying to steal it. So they have to stop her once again, nearly almost getting themselves killed again. But she's not able to get away with the balcony. This is the second time she has struck out. Normally, she does not strike out like that. And so Zach is still trying to give, Joshua some pointers. And all they do, just climb up the balcony. This is the most romantic thing ever. Climb up there and profess your love to her, stuff like that, like Romeo did, And so Ivory's just kind of like, dude, why are you climbing this balcony for? And so he's trying to explain himself, but he's all like, man, Carmen is doing him a favor by having him pick all these locations that are giving him the courage to like talk to Ivory and stuff, because if not, he would have been working on his machine. That triggers something in her brain. She realizes that Carmen, everything she's stolen, she could care less about stealing because she just gives it back up, or she just lets it get retaken from the agents and stuff. She's basically just trying to distract them so that she can get the codes for his device and everything. And so out of the blue, Ivory just kisses Joshua, which was just kind of weird. And so I'm like, well, that's not gonna make Carmen come back or nothing like that. So originally Carmen gave them a clue to go to like something with Don Quixote and like the windmills and that, something like that, for bravery. Basically, she wanted Joshua to be brave enough to talk to her, brave enough to profess his love to her, all this other crap. So they see Five back to the Seychelles beach and everything where they originally started off at. And don't you know it, there go Carmen trying to steal like the documents. They try to like stop her, nearly dying again. And then Ivory's able to stop them by like slingshotting a couple of like boulders onto like the flying thing, which really pisses Carmen off. Carmen's just kind of like, she wishes she never gave them that idea about going into like, the windmills and stuff and the whole Don Quixote thing. So anyways, um even though she got some of the documents, not all of them, you know, Joshua tells her plain and simple, it doesn't matter if she gets away with the documents because of the simple fact the technology does not exist yet, not even in their high-tech world and everything. And as he's giving his speech at this banquet thing he's having, he literally tells them one day in the future he hopes that you'll be able to track a person with their DNA, but for right now, the technology just does not exist. So because of that, he finally gets the courage he needs, and him and Ivory dance the night away. And that was kind of cool of Carmen, because it's kind of like her intentions really was to use that device. Oh, by the way, they got the device back. But her intention was to have this device and have the codes and this and that, but she inadvertently helped this dude out. But then the player tells her, like truly, like you gotta think about it in your head. Like, did she really want to help him out of the kindness of her heart, or did she do it just to, steal those documents? I think it was a little of both, you know what I'm saying? And so, 'cause that's the one cool thing about Carmen. She is a villain, but she has a code. She will not kill. And for the most part, she likes like Zack and Ivory and stuff like that, because they're the only ones who come close to like capturing her at times and stuff. Now, wasn't that romantic? Or depressing, depending on what kind of video I just talked about. Okay, well, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And bye.